Sauce are very
See them? They have Danos like a day all day.
I just downed, like, what's the size on this guy? Grande. It's gonna be like 18 fluid ounces. Almost 24. Know what this is gonna do in like in like 15 minutes? I'm gonna piss the racehorse. Anyway, welcome to Fanime Day 3. Ironic that costume. So I'm backward. Nothing in the Bible about wearing a costume. Yeah. But yes. What else is there? Yeah, it was fine. It had it was a gloomy day outside, so it was kind of like themed panels were later in the day. I didn't go to them, but maybe there'll be one tomorrow. And it's adult themed animation. And at one point, Mark's Cards and I were at I think it was one of the Fanimes. And I think it was also the Big Well Comic Fest too. He came to both of them. It was the guy that invented the Rotozuki Demon Womb series, and he was there, and he was actually nice and stuff. Yeah, he was at the comic conventions, the two Big Wells. And he came to Fanime too. He was the guy that invented all the tentacle porn that you see out there. Even though that's really gross, he invented it, and he was actually like not creepy. It's this old dude. So he explained it. He said, "Well, the reason we did that is in Japan, it's not proper to so male phallus, so I made it a tentacle." Ew, gross. So it's a tentacle. Get past the censors that way. That's what he did. So yeah, that's what he said. Yuck. Ew. Yes, they can't show a penis, so it's a tentacle. That's where it comes from. Of course, then it went further on, and then they showed it. They drew the tentacles with penises on them, which is kind of defeating the purpose of the whole thing. Don't look that up. Incidentally, yeah. Unless you're not squeamish, you can look it up. I guess I'll just throw in a little bit more for the commentary thing on this episode. Tomorrow is Sunday. Skip church to go to the convention, and I guess onto the Slash stuff that was near the ending. We're not publishing any of that. Even if we had some, we're not going to publish it. We're not putting it back on Usenet or anything, so it's not going to happen. Or some new version of it. It's just that when we had the Usenet stuff, we saved some of the files. The Transformer stuff that isn't slashy is going to get made into stories, so we're going to see that. That isn't very slashy. It's going to be PG-13 stuff, not the stuff that's more. Yeah, we don't want to have Optimus and Megatron in love or something. That would be very weird. We don't want to do that. So we're going to cop out and not do that. So So there was nothing weird or untoward going on. This costume contest that was going on at the end of the story was not. There weren't really any people pretending to be, Lolitas like in the movie. The idea that, some of the people that are asking these questions at writer conventions, that it is they don't want to learn how to write well. They want to be famous. That's different. If you're on the panel, I will say this when I have a panel one day, that's really your motivation out there. You want to be famous, you want to be known on YouTube or have a story and be popular. Be famous and popular. Because you weren't in school. I know you weren't, because I wasn't either. and that's what it is. So what you got to do, the only way I was popular was with my clique. We had a Star Trek fan club thing going on. It got a little dirty at times. It became slash fiction, but mostly it was clean. And then it went on to college like that, and then some of it became very dirty. But yeah, we didn't publish more than 1 or 2 issues of that. But yeah, you're not going to see that on the internet. I'm not putting that up there. But you can find. I'm sure they're buried somewhere on the Usenet forum somewhere. Find them, see him, and a couple other people. Anyway, so for that one where Quark and Odo have sex, one of those is probably CM's. Yeah. Ew. Bashir and Garrick, there's a bunch of those. But anyway, so what I was getting at was that. Enough of that. What I was getting at is, they don't want to insult the people in the panel that are listening to it by telling them, okay, your story's going to suck. But if you're doing your story so that you can become popular, so that girls like you, it's not going to work. Don't do that. You're going to be disappointed, and don't put yourself in the story all the time and all that stuff. I keep saying it over and over again. They all do. That means making yourself the main character, the Gary Stu, the Mary Sue. What you do is you split that up among a group, an ensemble, so that any one character doesn't really insult your sensibilities because you're space. This is your baby. You've written, send it out into the world, And so if you split it up so that there's several characters in an ensemble doing a space mission or a quest or whatnot, then if the editor doesn't like 1 or 2 of the characters, you've got plenty more to choose from. So that works. Do that. That works from an editor. Yeah. Not professionally. Self-published. But yes. Yeah. Haven't had major success in anything just yet. By next year, some of my stuff will be out. We'll see. Yes, there it is. So yeah. Also, the other thing that stymies writers that they didn't address in the panel is that many of them don't really know how to do it. They really don't know how to do it. So, going on and rambling about like how you do InDesign, which is really old. Why are they still using InDesign? It's got to be like 10 years old. I guess some of them still use it. And some of those other programs, they're not going to know what you're talking about. Just tell them, okay, Microsoft Word processor, learn how to type. I know I hated hearing that from typing teachers, but no, learn how to type. Learn how to type well. Learn how to type not really looking at the keys, because it'll help tremendously. So you'll be able to put out your ideas and go faster than the keyboard can do your Microsoft Word, because you're just faster than the word processor, which is cool. Which is sometimes annoying. You'd be like, oh, you got an idea and it's coming out, and it's like, oh, come on. You're click. It's not going. So I don't know how fast my typing speed is, but it's faster than Microsoft Word 2015. Whatever that is. It freezes up real fast. Slow down. I'm thinking the word processor is probably working at about 70 words, 80 words a minute. Not very fast, but if I'm trying to be careful. But yeah, just about anybody can. It has to be 65 words a minute. You have to be able to type that fast. If you can't type that fast, maybe writing is not your thing. Or what you can do is, if you have some kind of a deficiency, disability, or impairment, you get Dragon Naturally Speaking. You get a program that lets you talk what you want on the page. That's also very useful. You get this program, you go, well, I can't like compose these thoughts, so we'll get this program that does it for me. Okay. The quick brown fox ran down the hill. It goes, prints it. Yeah, you get a program. They have stuff that's fairly, it's not terribly expensive. Get it, hook it up and stuff. Do the stuff. Fanfic is fine. In fact, I encourage you to write fanfic, even slash, and do fanfic because fanfic is fine. Yeah, so do that. So write your fanfic. To practice character development stuff. I found the most useful stuff was a go-between doing grandmother's novel and typing up ages ago the spoken word of the first thing I did was crazy. The series finale of Family Ties, when I was in high school, I dictated that. I typed it up and I dictated like a script. I wrote up season finale of Family Ties, this like script. Mr. Reynolds, he's a current guy. Who else? Actually, Andy Weir. Why not? The guy who did The Martian. That guy can write dialogue. That thing is all dialogue. That's all he's doing is writing dialogue, and then the story writes itself. You're doing it right. The story writes itself. If you're like, oh wow, I could just imagine these guys talking like this, and read it aloud when you type it. That also helps. Go like, oh, the captain entered the room and he was like this. He ordered the tea Earl Grey hot, and Star Trek. Yes. And then Greka said to Captain, may I come in? He goes, yes, come. That kind of thing. He comes in, and Captain Q is here again. Oh, yeah, Q. Oh, how smooth that's been. Act. Q. What do you want this time? Or you can do Batman. You can have Batman. All right, Joker. What's your trick this time, Joker? I know you're up to something. Well, actually, Batman, I'm not up to anything. In fact, I'm not wearing any pants. Okay, this one's getting a little deviant. No. No, don't do that. But yeah, write what you know, write what you're interested in. Yeah. It's a fanfic. If you're writing something fanfic, well, just keep practicing. That's what they said, even in rejection letters. You have good character and drama and stuff, and yet it wasn't quite what we wanted to do that season. But so a lot of that blog stuff is going to come back out. Of course, my editor on that is going to be like, oh, there's typos in. Fix that. Yes, I looked back at the Starship Locations game setup, first-person player thing, and it's like, wow, there's typos in here. Oh, yeah. Can't do that. Take those typos out. Really, mostly online. I've been messing with stuff. I gave myself a course in Euclidean geometry, math, and stuff for space. How to figure out distances and parallax in space, so that I got the planets and where they are and stars and things correct in my science fiction book, so at least if someone really knows where that stuff is, won't be completely lost and start laughing when they read it. They'll go, well, yeah, that is kind of where that star is. And that's kind of, this is Point Sirius and Alpha Centauri. Yeah, that kind of works out. Yeah. At least you thought about it. It's not quite right, but that's okay. At least it wouldn't be like, oh, come on. Rigel, what? No. Yeah, at least it makes sense. So, yeah, even in science fiction, even the great science fiction writers, they had They didn't know. They would just, even Star Trek was like, oh, let's go to Rigel. Or I did a whole lecture on that before. But the point is that like a star like Blue Rigel or Red Betelgeuse or Red Arcturus, just because it sounds cool doesn't mean you can use it as a viable star with planets that are viable in orbit of it. Rigel is, for instance, a blue hypergiant or supergiant star. And if there are any planets, they would be boiled by the star being really, really hot. Betelgeuse, same problem, although Betelgeuse is slowly breaking apart. And it's red giant that's dying, and any planets in orbit of it would be pretty messed up. Vega, for instance, is a blue young star that wouldn't have planets unless aliens brought them in there. Aliens brought materials in there to put a viable planet ship or spacecraft in there. But it would be way out in the radiation. It would have to be heavily shielded. All that kind of stuff. So that's kind of science fiction-y stuff. I should have a whole panel blog on how to do science fiction stars and whatever. An update of that other one, which was kind of banal. And world building and stuff like that that I did on the Chimera pages, and then the other one. I'm not sure if they're still there, but some version of them is. Yeah. So. Yeah, this convention really was all right. It was cool. I enjoyed it. There was one Calicat Show fan that was there, an older guy who thought my stuff was a little too long-winded. But he watches it, so subscribes to it. There was also well, yeah, I like to talk. Anyway, so it's an interesting, going to the Fanime stuff. I was introduced to the Fanime by the stories. We're very early on, and that it was Fanime and Bacon. It's 2010 and 2011. They were going to go to Fanime, this weird convention thing. It was back when they allowed you to walk at least downstairs in the lobby without paying for the thing. They started saying you had to pay for the whole thing to even go into the proper building after around 2013 or so, late 2014, that you had to get in. You could go up. You used to be able to go. You could go all the way up into the stroll area and stroll back and forth up until 2015, late 2014, early 2015. You could go up there and walk around. They said, no, we don't want to do that anymore. It's partly because of the line cons of 2012 and 2013. And of course the protesters that were out there like being insane, the 2013 one. But it was funny that the Jesus guy ran out there. But yes, I remember that. I was there when that happened. That was funny. That was 2013. So I could go back and look that up, but I don't think there's a video blog of that one. I'm not sure. I think it was mainly Bacon that I recorded that day. But yeah, I've been going to Fanime since at least 2012. I understand that I went to the 2012 one because Bacon kind of sucked. That's what it was. And Bacon, I went to both usually. Bacon moved in 2015 to the other location. I think that's when it moved, because last year it was already gone. So it had to be 2015 that it moved, and then 2016. The last one they did was Women of Wonder. I think that was 2014, and that was before the Wonder Woman movie was even a thing. It would have gone over great like last year, but it's never gone already. Yes, but yeah, let's see who else became famous. Nostalgia Critic, of course. But let's see. And we could. And speaking of that, although I'm not going to mention that very much, we will. I don't know if they still do the appearance thing, the appearance gag with the phones, but if they do, yeah, we'll if one of the movies is up there, we'll make it. We'll do something this summer before Christmas. There will be something, and Cal Cat will appear in some form. We'll see. If they still do that submissions thing. Apparently there's there will also be stories and other things coming out of Amazon, stuff like that. Be our publisher most likely. So cool. For storybooks. There's going to be a website. That stuff. But all that's kind of in pieces everywhere, and here and there. But get it all together, do something. 2018 isn't done yet. It's only half over, less than half over, and by the end of the year, Distant Destinies Book 1 will be back out.